It's all about James Gunn confirming the first 5 movies and series in the DCU. And just taking this from Screen Rant, because there is a quote there, John.
Yes.
And he has, during an interview, Gunn revealed that the Green Lantern series will be released around the Supergirl movie, which means a 2026 release, though he did not specify if it would come out before or after Kara Zor-El's film. But here is the full quote. It's really Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker, Lanterns, Supergirl, and then some things people don't know. So there you are. John, the one that stood out to me was probably Peacemaker. Peacemaker was part of the Suicide Squad film, wasn't it?
Yeah, because not the original. It was part of obviously of Gunn's.
Yeah.
This Suicide Squad, this Suicide Squad.
So is that film linked in any way to the old DC?
It technically is, because you've got Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Just a soft reboot though. You can do what Flash is mucked about with timelines that often. It's happened in a new sort of universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a way around it, I'm sure. I think realistically he just really likes the character. It was his character he introduced in his variation of Suicide Squad. He really likes John Cena and he wants him in there. It's as simple as that. I think he's just saying to the fans, look, just exercise your ability to suspend the belief or disbelief over this character's presence, and next to Snyderverse characters, forget about that. He's part of my universe now. And it's fine. We can live with that. Because I do enjoy the character. I've still not seen the TV show, Steve. I've heard it's brilliant. I've seen snippets of it. It does look very funny. I love the character. I thought he was brilliant in the Suicide Squad. This guy going on about honour and serving the country and all this bollocks, and then he just stabs your man. Was it Boomerang or something? Or the captain guy? Yeah. It was in House of Cards. And stabs him or something, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In the chest. It's been a while since probably the last time I've seen. I think I've only seen the Suicide Squad once, and it was in the theatre.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
I liked it,
but I've still not went back to it.
Yeah.
So my memory may be a little bit hazy when it comes to the film, but needless to say, I really enjoy Peacemaker. I'm glad to see that John's continuing to get a chance to portray the character moving forward. But having said that, doesn't really feel like a revelation to put Peacemaker in there, because he's been about for a while now. There's no real revelations in here, Steve, and they kind of announced most of these. I think Lanterns was maybe a slightly later announcement. Supergirl we've been aware of. Creature Commandos, I think they maybe spoke about this back in the day, but I don't know a huge amount about them. I have brought up a page on them.
Yeah.
And it's also going to be animated. And that actually was one of the things I was really intrigued by when the initial sort of discussions over Phase 1, if you want to call it, the DCU, were getting banded about. It was this concept of having animated projects, TV shows, maybe even films, and having the same actors, big, proper, I don't want to say proper, I don't want to be disparaging to voice actors here, because they're proper actors as well. It's a real art. I've seen that with Mark Hamill. Even Robin Williams back in the day showed you the amount of energy you have to really put into a voice
John,
performance to make it believable.
While you're saying that just now, I'm sorry to interrupt, but talking about the animated stuff, Emerald Knights was one of the ones I reviewed back in the day, one of the animated DC ones, which I loved. And you talk about the calibre of acting. Nathan Fillion playing Hal Jordan / Green Lantern. Jason Isaacs is in there. Elizabeth Moss. Henry Rollins. Arnold Vosloo, who played the Mummy, of course. Just
not the other guy.
Guy called Michael Jackson as well, but it's not Michael Jackson.
Who's the guy we always mistake as playing the Mummy?
Billy Zane. He does look like him.
He does.
He does.
It does, but it's not though.
Roddy Piper was in there as well.
Roddy Piper,
back in the day, 2011. Obviously, he sadly passed away. But the other one I watched was First Flight. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the actors. I know their faces. Obviously, Victor Garber's one of the ones that stands out. Michael Madsen's in there as well. Christopher Meloni.
That sounds like a character from Police Academy. There was a Maloney, wasn't there?
Mahoney.
Yeah, Mahoney.
Kurtwood Smith, obviously, who played your man from RoboCop, Clarence Bodica. Can you fly, Bobby? So there is a lot of, as you said, a lot of good acting, good actors out there who do was about to say resort to. It's terrible. The voice, and I know
I'm not
Sean,
going to get much love from voice actors on this platform.
No,
I tell you,
Sean
we're
Gunn,
killing him.
obviously, he's going to be a big part of this Creature
Yeah.
Commandos, which is good. I love him. A fantastic actor.
I get compared to him. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not.
James clearly doesn't like his brother because he always. Do you know what it reminds me of? Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
When he wants to pick on Carol
Carol
Pilkington,
Pilkington,
so he
yeah.
gives him a role that he knows that he'll be very uncomfortable with, and see how it goes.
I've got to say, I'm not seeing the likeness in Sean Gunn.
I think
for
you're
me.
around the eyes, man. I think
Potentially the eyes, yeah. Kind of looks Scottish. There's a million guys that look like me in Scotland with a beard.
So young.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Crazy. Yeah, no, Steve, look, this is something DC have been doing brilliantly for decades now, man. The animated stuff's been unbelievable. I mean, who was it played Batman for like 20 years?
Oh, he sadly passed away,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Alongside Mark Hamill's Joker. They've been doing
Yeah.
this for like 30 years or something and doing it exquisitely well. So they know how to do great animated. But what, like I says, really intrigued me was just
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy, yeah. Is he passed? Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
realise. Jesus Christ. It's just this concept of taking animated stuff, much like Star Wars to an extent, albeit it's the same actors, having them do voice acting in the animated stuff, and then they just seamlessly transition over to live action, and it's the same sort of. So they're casting visually live action accurate versions of the characters, and they're also involved in voice acting. So it just makes it all interconnect. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, seeing how they make that happen, interconnecting the entire thing. Just really looking forward to this
Frank Grillo as
DCU.
well, playing Rick Flag in this Creature Commandos as well.
Yeah. It kind of looks like Suicide Squad. That's the vibes it's giving me. It's kind of like not heroes, not villains. So, what do you call them?
Anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes, yeah. Kind of Suicide Squad.
Misfits, yeah.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Like
Outsiders,
maybe like the Thunderbolts in Marvel, by the way. People are starting to talk very positively of that in terms of the last trailer, I think. I'm really looking forward to it, yeah.
I'm glad
that may be better than before.
Glad
it was
you
going to
threw
be.
that in there as well, John, because the first thing we spoke about was DC and the second thing we spoke about was DC, so we want people to know, well, they should know, looking behind you.
Yeah, no, I love both.
We don't size them up against each other on this show.
No, I want them both to be great, but
It's
to be
good
fair,
for us.
But to be fair, Marvel had a right good run, so if they have to be shit for a little while and DC rise, then that's absolutely fine.
As long as there's something for us. Yeah.
Exactly, and there's always something for us because we love both. We're not these tribalistic fucking idiots who want to pick a side.
Out of those ones, though, John, what one? I think this is probably an obvious answer. Actually, what one are you looking forward to the most?
I think Lanterns. I'm not going to lie.
I'm looking forward to Lanterns.
Lanterns because we need to see.
Of the animated stuff I've watched.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is going to be. Is it going to be a series, this one? Yeah.
I think it's a TV show. I'm pretty sure it is.
So I just find that world very interesting, and obviously the sort of structure of their place in the universe, these people. And I don't think it would be hard to be better than the Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I'm sure Ryan Reynolds would agree with that. But
Kim Chandler, Aaron Pierre. Yeah, it's a TV show. Stephen, I just feel like, much like Fantastic Four, we're still to get the definitive version of this sort of story and these characters, and they're so powerful within the DC side of things. And it's almost like a fucking sub universe entirely, what's going on there. It's a really interesting story to explore. Again, it's TV, you're bridging the gap. There is no gap between TV and movies now. I mean, the budget's getting spent, rightly or wrongly, in some of these TV shows are applicable to movies. Sometimes they actually are more than most movies now outside of Disney and Warner Brothers. So they're exploring this story on, I presume it's going to be Max, because that's the Warner Brothers equivalent of Disney Plus. Looking forward to it, man. Interesting characters, love the colours, obviously. And just how they're going to interconnect it all. This is going to be the key. This first phase is going to be so important. Superman will be the first, I presume. And if they hit the ground running with that and then they get a couple of hits. One thing I'm taking away from this, Stephen, is it's not massive names.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lanterns are obviously, Green Lantern is a pretty big name, but it's not fucking Batman. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's almost like what Marvel were doing in 2008 with Iron Man, Captain America. Kind of lesser properties. Supergirl, I don't want to deride Supergirl, but it's kind of lesser, and they're trying to build momentum and then build into something bigger. James has been around that.
Well, the thing is, in terms of James Gunn as well, which I don't want to see, John, and I don't mean this in a negative way or anything like that, but I love most of the films I've seen from James Gunn as a director. Tonally, they're very similar in terms of humour and, pacing and the characters within. What I want to see range from this universe. I don't want to see everything tonally the same. I don't want everything to be a joke, but at the same time, and I was a fan of Zack Snyder stuff, but everything was dark and gritty. Everything, every film we watched within that universe had to be moody and dark and depressing, and and I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. But when you're seeing it in nearly every film, because that's the tone that was set by the director, and that was his choice. I don't want to see that in this. I want to see range. I want us to go from a really depressing sort of situation that you would probably find in a Thor film, the older Thor films, I mean, to Guardians of the Galaxy being the next film, and you're like, what the I never seen that coming, that kind of thing. That's what I want to see in this. I don't want to see Superman being sort of played off as some kind of a joke and light-hearted. I want to see a seriousness to an extent, somewhere in between comic book and being dark and gritty. Somewhere. It's funny because two of my favourite Superman are obviously Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill, and they couldn't be so more different in terms of tone. Somewhere in between that, I would like. I think
that's getting back to Marvel. I think that's what they've done so well, and the sort of Halcyon. What is that? How you say it? That's what I'm saying. Halcyon days, and that they took real existential threats, and it was kind of dark. Everyone's getting wiped out, and then you go to an Ant-Man. Yeah, it's more grounded, human story, funny, uplifting. They balanced it beautifully. They'd go from one to the next, and it'd be kind of different. There was a period where we were all praising Marvel and Disney for exploring subgenres within the greater comic book genre and diversifying it, making it a little bit different.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
It can get samey really quick.
Yeah, but James Gunn can do that. He can make you laugh and he can make you cry.
I think that's why I think that's why he's perfect as the guy spearheading it. I know a lot of people don't like James Gunn. They don't like this DCU that he's brainchild, but I think he's perfect.
Film had you laughing, it had you crying.
Oh yeah,
it was such a great finish to that series.
And just the swear words getting dropped as well.
Not per film. I want to see it with each film, not within it. One film each, having the range of emotions. I mean, try that with all the different films, all the different, properties they've got. They don't all have to be the same.
I think it's a decent little first act, if you like, of this new DCU. You've got Creature Commando, you've got Peacemaker, Supergirl, Lanterns, Superman. Setting it up nicely. I don't know who's been cast. Women of Tomorrow. I mean, again,
it's Millie.
Millie Alcock. Yeah. I heard that. Yeah. I thought that was like previous. I've lost the plot. We've been speaking about it that much. I'm just intrigued to see whether the suit will marry up with also the David Corns vet one. Obviously, it has to because it's the same universe. So there has to be some sort of crossover. I didn't realise, is she related to Kal-El? Because it's obviously Elle. Her name is Elle, something else. You just said it in that article.
I don't know what
Kara
they're going with. I'm not really sure what the relationship in this iteration is, John, but I think in the past it's been, is it cousin? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember. I never really. I think the
Kara
Supergirl character will be important in this phase. But it was something I never grew up with. Obviously, the Supergirl film came out, but the budget for it was ridiculously low. It was a TV movie.
Yeah.
I think the only link they had to the sort of Christopher Reeve stuff at the time was Mark McClure, who played Jimmy. Dave McFly.
Yeah.
That was the only link. He appeared in both sort of franchises, or parts of the franchises as a link. But in terms of quality, I mean, you saw some of the cost cutting in the later Superman films. This was even worse.
Yeah.
In terms of visuals
Using
and
the
stuff.
Same
It
shot
was terrible.
every time he was flying.
They just didn't back it. They just didn't back the project.
That's the problem you've had. The sort of lesser characters, female characters certainly, get shot sort of shrift. Is that the right phrase? I'm not great with phrases, as we've already established in this stream.
You know her from obviously
House of Dragon. Yeah.
I know her from No Gallagher's Easy Now video.
Yeah.
Which
She's
is
quite distinctive looking,
yeah.
to be fair. She has got a distinctive look.
For anyone out there in Australia that might be watching this show at some point, I don't mean this in a bad way, but she looks so Australian.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she?
If I saw her, I went, she's Australian.
Absolutely. There's another one. God, what's
It's
she
a
called
positive,
again?
by the way. It's not. I'm not saying that in a
Benny
negative way.
is a singer, young singer from Australia, and she's the most Australian looking person you'll ever fucking see in your life. And
Yeah.
she's kind of like her.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah. As you were talking about earlier, John, it's just he looks Scottish. Talking about obviously Gunn, but yeah, I don't know what it is. Just get vibes.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it though. I'm looking forward to seeing where Jamesy Boy takes it, because I do love him as a film maker, as a writer. Not seeing him as an out producer, sort of creative arbitrator. And so I'm intrigued to see where he's going to go in terms of spearheading and doing the Kevin Feige kind of stuff. Also, he'll be more hands-on. He will direct some films. He'll do some writing.
Yeah.
Don't know if Kevin's ever done that. I know he was a producer sort of guy, and he was brilliant at micromanaging and picking the right people. That's why you got the likes of the Russos coming in. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. Just a choice to have Kenneth Branagh direct a superhero movie as a guy that's directed Shakespeare movies. Having him coming in and direct a fucking superhero movie, and it worked. Just different takes on things and projects, and that's how you do it.
Yeah,
and Kathleen Kennedy should take note, because what she's doing is not how you do it. Be intriguing to see how, just like you get a kick into her every now and again, not connected to her at all. I'm intrigued to see if James has took anything from Kevin and where they go with this, because I think the future's bright, provided they get these projects right.
I think they will.
These initial ones.
Took his time over it. I'm looking forward to it. But folks, what are you looking forward to the most? Are you looking forward to Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker, Lanterns, Supergirl? Well, the things that he doesn't want people to know about yet.
What's the one you're most looking forward to? Superman.
Well,
I was talking about these ones.
I'm quite nervous about Superman, John, because they need
obviously
to get it right.
Superman.
I'm looking forward to the Lanterns. That's probably my top
But
one.
you says, I mean, obvious. I mean, I didn't even pick up on the fact that Superman was on that list. It's fucking Superman. Come on.
Well,
I was looking at the tabs I had opened.
I'm
weren't Superman.
I'm more comfortable, and I'm looking forward to the Lantern stuff, just because of the previous sort of experience I've had with the animated stuff. And, the film wasn't great, was it? But what's your thoughts, folks? What are you most looking forward to? Probably as Superman, to be fair to a lot of people out there. But we'd like to know in the comment section. We'll certainly read and reply to it. We're going to move on to our final topic.